Several factions have condemned the move to fire tear gas on a group of Sri Lankan migrant workers stranded in the Middle East due to unemployment. Tear gas was fired when the group of Sri Lankans tried to hold discussions with the officers of the Sri Lankan embassy in Jordan.
Tear gas was fired by Jordanian security forces at around 4 p.m. Jordanian time yesterday at 700 Sri Lankan migrant workers who have lost their jobs at the Camel and Vega factory in Karak, Jordan. Although the group has made several pleas to repatriate them to Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan embassy in Jordan has continuously requested for more time. Since there was no proper solution, the group of migrant workers had decided to meet the heads of the factory and embassy officials yesterday. The embassy officials had then informed a representative will discuss with the migrant workers in this regard. 3 officers of the labour section of the Sri Lankan embassy in Amman, Jordan, met with the unemployed migrant workers. An embassy official had said that he felt dizzy when hearing the grievances of Sri Lankans who had lost their jobs. Tear gas was fired at the Sri Lankan migrant workers when the embassy officials were leaving. They said around 20 of them were immediately admitted to hospital following respiratory difficulties. The migrant workers who were employed at the Camel and Vega factory were made redundant on the 17th of March. Owners of the factory had requested these Sri Lankans to resign while promising to repatriate them to Sri Lanka soon after the 17th of April. The group had agreed with the hope of returning to their homeland. However, these Sri Lankans have not received a salary for the past 4 months and they only receive 2 meals a day. Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan embassy in Jordan has issued a statement in response to this incident. The statement notes the labour staff of the embassy of Sri Lanka who visited the Camel and Vega factory in Karak to look into the welfare of the Sri Lankan migrant workers last morning were held hostage for over 5 hours by a group of unemployed migrant workers, demanding they be immediately repatriated to Sri Lanka. The statement goes on to note the Jordanian police was called in to defuse the situation at the factory and for the embassy officials to be released. According to the statement, the embassy officials had distributed 375 packs of dry rations and sanitary items at the same factory on the 22nd of July.
That statement is false. 5 months later, we received small packs like this as welfare, and that was also 5 months later. We haven't received the money. We brought them here yesterday expecting a response from them for the request we have made. We are very helpless. We don't have a single cent left with us. You can decide if we can live with just a pack like this.
අපේ මේ මැද පෙරදිග
The innocent women who are stranded in the Middle East send foreign remittances to the country. For a year, 7 billion US dollars is sent to the country. They are unemployed and they do not have food to eat. They have no shelter. The same issue was reported from Jordan as well. For 5 months, those innocent women told his government. Even we informed the government. We met with the Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Relations and informed them in this regard. Those women are being assaulted in Jordan now. It was not the Jordan police who wanted to attack them, it was the Sri Lankan government who gave instructions. They have fired tear gas, the typical Sri Lankan style. The Sri Lankan government has used the same method of assaulting women in Sri Lanka and applied it in Jordan.
චිකල්ලා ගහලා තියෙනවා.
When the officer in charge of labour at the Sri Lankan embassy in Jordan, Ramindu Ambepala, was there, these people were attacked. The Foreign Affairs Ministry and the Ministry in charge of labour have not taken any action in this regard. We believe that the issue of thousands of migrant workers cannot be solved by just submitting documents. The government has to intervene immediately.
According to the statistics of the Foreign Employment Bureau, the number of Sri Lankan migrant workers is around 1.2 million. Last year alone, migrant workers have earned remittances of 7 billion US dollars to Sri Lanka.
During the past 2 days, we had temporarily halted repatriation of Sri Lankans from foreign nations. This is due to the incident that took place at the Kandakadu Rehabilitation Centre. We are hoping to make room for more repatriates from other countries at the quarantine centres. We have planned to repatriate Sri Lankan migrant workers from Dubai on the 31st of July and the 1st of August. Thereafter, based on the information we received from other authorities, we will make plans to expedite the process of bringing down the remaining Sri Lankans. We will do this as soon as we get recommendations from the Sri Lanka Army and the health authorities.
සෞඛ්‍ය අංශවලින් ඒ සම්බන්ධව නිර්දේශයන් ලැබිච්ච වහාම